I always have an open door, open phone line policy. I mean, that's, I feel like they are a vital instrument in regards to all of our programs. They have a voice, and so therefore they should be heard. And I think, the days of, hey, if you don't like it, that's tough. I don't think that works nowadays. I think you've got to be willing to listen and understand where they're coming from in regards to the concerns they have. Now, ideally, what we would like is if there is a concern, that they would take it up, with an assistant coach or a position coach that their kid plays for, and if not there, then we take it to the head coach, and then we kind of follow that chain of command. In regards to after the head coach, it would go to the site coordinator that we have at each site there at Norman North High School and Norman High School, and then at some point, if necessary, myself or the high school principal will become involved if there's not a resolution, which majority of the time. The key is the communication piece. If that communication is there and you're hearing the concerns they have and they're also doing the same thing, then the majority of the time your problems are going to be solved. Where you get off balance or off track is whenever that communication piece, as far as the listening part and hearing what they're saying, instead of trying to look at it as I'm wrong, you're right. Again, the key is hearing it, understanding where they're coming from, and believing that where there's a will, there's a way. Well, if there's a way to work that issue out from both sides, then we'll solve the problem. But as far as the chain of command, so to speak, we prefer it to be with an assistant coach or a position coach that their individual child is playing for. If not, head coach, the site coordinator, and then site principal and myself if need be. Coaches should be mindful of, you see a lot of different procedures and policies and they all look good on paper. But at some point in time, you have to be realistic and understand, I'm kind of the believer, the more rules and policies you have, the more issues you have to deal with. Not that it should be a free-for-all, but there's got to be a fine line, and you've got to understand the culture and the environment that you're at, depending on the system or the school system or the district that you're in. And that's an important part as well, as far as kind of what is accepted, and coaches understanding that, I think sometimes we all get into problems whenever we have that mindset of the programs are ours. No, they're not ours. They're the kids, they're the parents, they're communities. It's our job to come in and lead it effectively and get everybody on the same page, because we know there's going to be differences. But if we're able to communicate effectively and go in the same direction, that's what leads to successful time during that program.